Her name was Queen, but we called her Queen Kane because she was sweet as any sugar you ever had. Sure, it took some time to get past her hard exterior, but if you could, you'd have someone in your corner forever. We also called her Queen Kane because she could come down as hard as a fresh switch across the backside if you crossed her or what's hers. She was as fierce as she was fearsome, and she was as loving as she was loved. She lived with her elderly father. Her job was to take care of him, but looking back, it's hard not to see that her job also somehow became taking care of us. Counting the years back now, she couldn't have been more than 22 when we began haunting her kitchen door. Kelsey was the first to meet Queen Kane. Her mama made her go by and drop off a casserole a week or so after she had moved in, a welcome gift. Kelsey had not enjoyed the encounter. She told us all about the scary woman living with Mr. Walker, and we all started whispering terrible stories about her in the way that children often do. When my own mama commanded me to take over something a few days later, I begged until she made my brother go along with me. I don't remember too much from that first meeting other than my own fearful silence, but when I was tasked with fetching the dish back again, I was made to go all alone. I sat stiff and quiet at her table while she went about putting the last of the unfinished shepherd's pie in a Tupperware and washed the pan. Spread across the table was a haggard spiral-bound notebook, large pieces of thick paper, and paints. I tried to keep my suspicious eyes on the woman, but I was 9 and nosy. She caught me looking and explained that she was turning her mother's recipes into a picture book. She let me flip through the pages that were drying on the small table. It was beautiful. I asked her if she was making it as a gift for her mom since Christmas was close. For a long moment, she didn't answer. When she did, it was a simple but terse no before she handed me back Mama's pan along with a small basket of homemade bread and sent me on my way. Later, I knew that her mother had passed just a month before she moved in with Mr. Walker. I learned that she stayed with her dad because he wasn't able to take care of himself after 2 separate strokes. But as I walked home after that second meeting, my nosy self decided I was brave enough to return. I went back a day later to return her basket and lingered for half an hour. 2 days after that, I visited again with no real excuse, dragging Kelsey and Alex with me. She stood stubbornly at the doorway, but after only a few seconds, let us in the kitchen. After that, more than one of us could always be found at her home. The kitchen and living room became our clubhouse, our home away from home, a place we could and did grow up in. I learned to cook in that house. Queen Kane always had something on the stove or in the oven. When one of us would wander in for whatever reason, we were put to work. When we were young and short, we were ordered to pull out the footstool and clean the dishes as she went. Queen would say she had no patience for freeloaders, but she never turned us away if we showed up on her porch. As we got older, we graduated to sifters, and then graters, then choppers. Before I was out of middle school, I could make a bone broth stew to rival her own. In the 10th grade, I hosted a 4-course dinner party in her dining room for her family and mine. Today, I can't remember most of the meal, but I'll never forget that last dish. A 3-layered spice cake with buttercream frosting between the layers, the top coated with a very light espresso rum glaze. Queen said it tasted just as her mama's used to. I cried. To this day, I have never received a higher compliment.